This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If you're listening to the W Show on 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, we appreciate you. If this is your first time checking us out, thank you for making us a part of your Saturday morning. Another Saturday morning back with us. We are live here from the Kansas City Tattoo Arts Festival 2022, the 7th annual, I should say. We did the show back in, I think it was pre-COVID, 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, it seems like so long ago. Hey, how was everyone's week?
It was good. It went by fast for me.
Yeah.
All good. No
Yeah. It's
the week went by quick, and my I had a watch party this week. My nephew was on a HBO show called Legendary.
really, what's that about?
Yeah, it's basically a dance competition. The LGBTQ community, they have it's called ballroom dance.
Really?
And so when you see them do the and then they fall to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they his dance team got, and they're called houses. I found that out. Yeah.
So they all from KC?
No, they not on his team.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was was a cool show.
That's dope.
Super
Is it a
cool.
series or just one?
Yeah,
one?
it's a series
Okay.
on HBO.
Have to check it out.
It's on the third season, so he's on the third season.
Wow, that's dope.
Bet, I'm checking
dope.
it out.
All right. We got a lot to talk about this morning. And I'm excited to talk about some of these topics because it's some stuff that's kind of come full circle. We've been talking about for the past year and a half now, but
Right.
we're gonna dive into it a little bit more today. According to friend of the show, Darren Rovell. Q, you remember Darren Rovell from Miami? Yeah. So he's
funny.
he says the Royals City Connect jerseys, which they launched last month, is the most successful merchandise launch in team history. And we know that when the 2026 World Cup sites will be announced, Kansas City awaits good news. So we've been waiting, and FIFA's been pushing the date back, and so we'll find out June 16th exactly when which cities will be announced for the World Cup. Alabama football coach Nick Sabin, he calls out Texas A&M and Jackson State for buying recruits with NIL deals. That's the one I want to get to, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. And Michael Vick, you know Michael Vick.
Of course.
He's 41 years old and he's coming out of retirement in the Fan Control Football League. That's going to be interesting. All right, and coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have our sneakers of the week during our Headed to Love It segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on The W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
According to friend of the show, Darren Rovell, Royals say City Connect jerseys that they launched late last month is the most successful merchandise launch in team history. Q, what do you think?
Love it. I love it. I mean, I like the new logo. They kind of stole the DJQ logo swag just a little bit, but that's okay because you know we're all staples in this city. No, but I really like it. I really like it. It's kind of it says the city of fountains.
Yeah. And like on the inside of their jerseys, the collar says that, you know, hey. I can't really do it because it's still early, but yeah, it's dope. These jerseys are really nice. And it's appealing to the youth as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not the old standard of Royals baseball that we've seen of like jerseys. And I think MLB, we talk about MLB trying to appeal to the younger crowd, and this is it.
No, it has to. I mean, the Major League Baseball has been a dying sport for like 15 years now, if not 20. And especially when you look at a lot of the steroids, you know, cases that really just blew up the league.
Right.
And it, you know, home runs, yeah, it made the game exciting, but that's like saying dunks make the NBA exciting. I mean, it's such an old way of thinking.
Yeah.
And this is a step in the right direction for the Royals. I mean, does Pat Mahomes have any influence in this?
I don't know. Could be. But no, I think the Royals marketing team, they've been hitting home runs, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think the next rollout will be, and everyone wants to see it, is the go back to the 80s with the all powder blue uniforms. I don't know if you guys remember those, but remember when Bo Jackson had the run up the wall? They were in the all powder blues with even with George Brett. Those days they had the powder blue, and I think that's what they really want to get to. But these are nice. I'm going to get me one of these jerseys. I haven't owned a Royals jersey in like ever. I don't think I've ever owned a Royals jersey. Ever. I have a t-shirt, something, but yeah.
Right.
I have never owned a jersey. The two that I want to get is a Salvi and a Bo Jackson.
Yeah, because even when I worked the Nike booth for All-Star game, they were like, "Yeah, what shirt do you want?" I was like, "Give me that one." And it definitely wasn't a Royals one. I think I got Detroit and I got a Mets one.
Did you?
The Mets one was really like.
How you gonna be in Kansas City and DJing at Kauffman Stadium and getting a Mets shirt?
I'm a design guy. I mean, like, I don't want that crappy design. Like, it's been the Royals logo for like since
ever.
Yeah, like no.
Yeah.
I like the sleeves on this one though. Like the stripes on the sleeves I think that's what did it for me. But I would rock them. I'm with Steve. I don't have any, but I'm more like whatever looks cool, whatever colorway looks the best, I'm going with it. But I definitely rock this one.
And then a lot of design trends are really going retro. So you look at like a lot of the 70s, a lot of design inspiration is starting to go back to that like 70s feel, and that's what those stripes on those sleeves are.
And I know we knock Nike a lot, but they put out some fire stuff.
Yeah.
Like their design team is super dope. And the guy that put these out, that designed them, is from Kansas City.
Yeah, and I like the blue. Because when you were saying the powder blue, I was gonna say it'd be dope if instead of doing the powder blue with the white on top, it should be the powder blue with the dark blue.
With the navy,
yeah. So they did that. They did the inverse of that. I like that.
So the designer Jason Wright, like I said, he's from KC. He also did K-State's jersey uniforms, their basketball uniforms. I think back in 2017, they allowed him to design the Nike uniforms for K-State. So. He's doing some dope stuff. He wanted to pay homage to the Royals because he's from Kansas City, and it's dope. It's dope. Hopefully we can get him on the show sometime soon.
Definitely. We now know when the 2026 World Cup sites will be announced, and Kansas City is awaiting the good news. They're they have high hopes for being one of the chosen few, and it'll be unveiled in New York. Steve, your thoughts?
I'm excited just because so much went into the pitch of bringing trying to get the World Cup to come to Kansas City. So much went into it, and I feel like it's here now, and the date's been pushed back for so long, for months. I talked to Kathy Nelson. This was last week, I believe. She's the director over the Kansas City Sports Commission, also the new director over, or the president of the Kansas City Visit Kansas City. And so I said, well, when is the date? Like, when are they going to announce? You guys had a huge push. FIFA came in, they rolled out the red carpet for them, took them around to all of Kansas City. And she's like, well, they just keep pushing it back. At this point, we just don't know. And so now we have a date, and June 16th is going to be a date. And I'm hoping that they're able to do something big for the announcement.
And I hope we get it for Kansas City, just having like having the draft and everything here next year. I think that'll be dope. Have like a lot of eyes on Kansas City, and for the soccer community. We just got the women's team, and having sporting here, I think it'll be huge for Kansas City if we do get it.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of the reverberations of the Royals championship run for a couple of years, or the Chiefs championship run for a couple of years. Now that they're on the downslide. But no, we're getting a lot of attention here, and it's really good to see, especially for guys like us that grew up in Kansas City. Was always forgotten in any kind of conversation.
Tell me about it. But yeah, and you mentioned just the teams, the soccer teams, the women's team now, and it's dope because our city is being put on the map.
Yeah.
And people are realizing what Kansas City has to offer. And within the next 10-year span, we're going to see a lot of happenings where Kansas City is going to be like, wow. If you've moved out of Kansas City, let's just say 2 years ago, you're going to come back in 5 years and be like, what is going on? Because, of course, you mentioned the draft. Then in 2026, if we happen to get a World Cup game, the Federation of Rugby, they announced that they're going to be having Rugby World. Rugby is the second largest sport after FIFA. They announced last week that rugby is going to be in the U.S. now. So they pitched Kansas City. It's like, hey, you guys need to nudge, apply for this.
Yeah.
And so if that comes, that's in 2030. So it's like, yeah, it's going to be a 10-year run where Kansas City is going to be huge. And of course, they're going to have to build more. We talked about the Ferris wheel a couple weeks ago. How for the draft they're going to build up some stuff. So I think it's going to be dope. Yeah.
No, it'll definitely be good for the development of the city, because there's a lot of open space now being considered. To put something at. So
and being like a fan and playing, of course, like always wanting to be at a World Cup game. Like that's like a dream thing. Like you want to see a World Cup game in person. So like the fact that it could even be remotely in this area, I mean, of course I'd be willing to travel if it's like here, but going to a World Cup game would be awesome.
And then
we in there.
And, and then the tourism spikes. So again, like somebody like me in nightlife and entertainment, you look at a weekend like that, you have the potential for a lot of different corporations to come into, like the All-Star game. I got a nice gig with Nike for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And so, things like that really line up for the locals. It's
Yeah.
not just these corporations coming in, but a lot of locals are able to get jobs. Like, we look at the Super Bowl and security staff. So.
And it's funny that you say that, because after our show last week or 2 weeks ago at the Negro League Museum, the president of Black Chamber was there, and she got talking about businesses, not only just businesses in general, but Black businesses, and saying that we need to be ready for when all this stuff is happening, because it's coming down a pipeline in order to funds are being divvied out, and so businesses need to be ready to be able to receive those benefits.
And when you look at a lot of those tourism dollars, they really schedule a lot of that out months and months in advance. So again, just being ready for it is something that's definitely a part of the strategy for all you business owners out there.
For sure. Now, one that I love, the U.S. men's and women's soccer teams will be paid equally under a new deal.
Love it.
Hit the love it button over there, Project.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love it. And definitely for the fight for so long, like you've seen all across the board, women are like making that argument that they need to be paid equally. And to see it done in soccer first, I hope it's just like a domino effect. And I think it's definitely opening some doors for other sports as well. But to see it start in soccer was a different type of appreciation for me, for sure.
No, and you love to see it because you look at the way the finances roll between men's and women's soccer, and a lot of the sponsorship dollars are definitely directed at men.
Right.
So you'll start seeing a swing of that. And I would like to see it between the NBA and the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked a couple of weeks ago about, the WNBA has to be a sister team to an NBA team, and they have to be in the same city. And I think that puts constraints on the league. And so something like this opens up that conversation. It opens it up to why, these things aren't happening. And then you have the women's team that just wins.
Yeah.
And the thing about that too is just if businesses or sponsorships and advertising dollars went to the women's sports just as much as they did to the men's, the competitiveness and the level of play, I think, would be raised to another level. Because you got to think about when you look at WNBA, these women have to not only play their season in the States, but then after their season they go overseas and play a whole nother season. So if they were able to just stay here and have one season, think about how much better their bodies would be.
Not even that. Just think of how much more marketing appeal they add to actually being here, being present, showing up and doing. Not necessarily book signings while they're playing, but going and doing autographs, different appearances at different places. Like that really helps. And when you look at retired NFL players, like they're all around Radio Row, looking for a job, looking for different opportunities. And I think the same can be done for women. Like a lot of these different leagues can open up just sort of different like appearances in different cities, not necessarily hoop it up, but if it's a breast cancer event, they could possibly be there. If there's anything that's women centered, they can be there. And I think the presence adds to the marketability of the league.
And I think sometimes too, when you get in women's sports, whether it's little league or high school, there's a huge drop off from the level of talent. Like I think the level of talent will be able to, because they would understand, all right, I see these women, they're faces of leagues, and they're out there just as much as the men are. Because like if you ask some high school, women players, any sport, they sometimes they say, or a lot of times, I would say probably 75% of the time they say, you ask them, who their favorite player is, they're like, oh, well, this male is my favorite player, right? Not a woman, because her face isn't out there as much as the men. And I think that drop off won't be as huge if they are able to get more dollars and it leads to marketing, leads to them having their faces out more.
that, and even like the motivation to take it to the next level, because I feel like whenever like we're coming up as women, if you know that you're not going to make as much, or you're going to have to go overseas during off season to make the same amount of money as a man, then it's like, is it even worth, like, of course, if you're passionate about it, if you have the ability to do that, you want to take an advantage of the opportunity, but it's like, why wouldn't I just stay here and get a 9-to-5 job and not have to deal with everything?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of talent that got lost in the shuffle just because it's like, I don't want to go overseas for 6 months, or I don't want to dedicate all my time and everything like that, and I'm not making what I should be, or not even close to what a standard of living is, especially if you're in an area like LA or something like that where the cost of living's high. That might have been enough to get you by. Like, you might have had to pick up a second job just because you wanted to play pro soccer as a woman. So
it's interesting too, because and also on top of that, women have to figure out, all right, when can I start a family?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to risk, because haven't made as much as I want to.
Yeah.
So I can't risk, getting involved with someone or having a family, starting a family, because I haven't made enough.
Yeah. And one of my favorite advocates, Sydney LaRue, so she is known for, she was really a staple on like playing while she was pregnant, and she was still practicing up until I think it was like 4 months pregnant. She was still full on training with the team and everything. And so she, like, that was one of her arguments. Like, now I can't play because I'm pregnant for so long, or I'm not able to. And it's like, men don't have to deal with like those type of issues, but you still get paid. Like,
and that's interesting that she said that too, because her husband was paid, face of league, face of Sporting Kansas City for a while, and then went down to Orlando. So that's still interesting, showing that he didn't even get paid enough.
Yep.
Interesting.
Crazy. Now, Alabama football coach is claiming they've got quite deep pockets. Nick Sabin calls out Texas A&M and Jackson State for buying recruits with NIL deals. Steve, we'll start with you. I know you're excited about this one.
Oh man, it's a lot to unpack with this story, because just of what Nick Sabin said, and I think we had a video of what he said, but let's just hear what Nick Sabin had to say.
Is going to be difficult for the people who are spending tons of money to get players. And you've read about them. You know who they are. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future, because more and more people are doing it. Yeah. So it's tough, and people blame the NCAA. But in defense of the NCAA, we are where we are, all right, because of the litigation that the NCAA gets, like the transfer portal. Every time somebody wanted to transfer, they'd apply for a waiver. All right, if the NCAA didn't give them a waiver so they could be immediately eligible, they filed suit. So the NCAA would back off and give them a waiver. So they just said, we're just going to make a rule where everybody can transfer. That's how that happened. So if the NCAA doesn't get some protection from litigation, whether we got to get an antitrust or whatever it is, from a federal government standpoint, this is not going to change, because they cannot enforce their rules. Just like Nate said, we have a rule right now that says you cannot use name, image, and likeness to entice a player to come to your school. Hell, read about it in the paper. I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper, and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. I mean, these guys at Miami that are going to play basketball there for $400,000, it's in the newspaper. The guy tells you how he's doing it. So, but the NCAA can't enforce their rules because it's not against the law.
Very interesting, man.
I didn't hear the part of the clip where Nick was going big government. I didn't understand that. They need to escape litigation. No, they don't.
Yeah, this has been an ongoing thing. Now, granted, the only thing I can say, and there's more to the clip. We have it on our Facebook page, but the only thing I can agree with what he said was the fact that the NIL deals are, at some point, it's going to come to a head. I can agree with that. Like, at some point, it's going to be too much. And they're going to have to figure out how to even the playing field on just how guys are getting paid and all that. But he called out Texas A&M. He called out Jackson State. First of all, Texas A&M and Jackson State aren't on the same level as far as Division I goes in HBCU. So there's really no reason to even be putting Jackson State in the same breath as Texas A&M. First of all, because they're in debt right now. They've been in debt for the past 20, 30 years within their athletics. So it's just like, come on, man. So, and then going at Texas A&M, we know you guys have a feud. And with the whole NIL deals, it's okay. He wasn't really saying that to go at Texas A&M. He was saying it to appeal to his boosters and to appeal to, it's like, all right, guys, I'm going to say this. We were second in recruitment behind Texas A&M. So, deepen your pockets a little bit. Give us some more money.
He wasn't saying
it. Give us some more money, because that's who he was talking to, was his boosters. They were all there, and he's like, we just need some more money. Texas A&M is going to beat us, in recruitment. I'm not able to get these same guys. And then for him to call out Deion and Jackson State for something that was false, I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, because I don't think he was saying all that. I think Nick Sabin started saying something and then had to dry snitch just to make his own point. But the issue is that Nick Saban's been doing that for years. Alabama's been doing that for years. The NCAA has been doing this and allowing this for years. So I'm not really I don't understand his point. I don't understand his point. One, because if he made that point and he looked at his salary versus the entire athletic budget of Jackson State, he would know how stupid that sounds. So he was basically just crying wolf. And it's sad to see a coach of his stature reduced to that. And now I see why Bill Belichick stays silent.
But you know why he was trying to reduce to it? He was forced to, because it's a cry for, we need more money so we can go out there and get these players, and we can go out there and spend more than the Texas A&M, because they got that oil money down there, and you ain't really comparing,
But
so.
My thing is, he made the point of like, oh, they bought every single one. We didn't buy any. So I feel like, yes, he was trying to give credit to his recruiting abilities. But at the same time, it's like, as an athlete, if you're going to Alabama, you're like, okay, I know I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get attention. Like, Alabama is a big-time school. Like, it's not just purely your recruiting ability that brought them there. Like, there's other enticements. Yeah. You can't just blame it all on, like, oh, we were 100% great at recruiting, and that's why I have all my players. There's other factors that factor into that, and you can't just throw everybody under the bus because they might have had better enticements.
And his quarterback last year made $1 million. And you're right, and now he's going to get more next season because he won the Heisman. So I mean, this is where it's going, and you got to either get with it or get gone. Like
I think one thing that gets lost in this whole conversation is that the University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. I know where that is.
So all of these very highly talented black players are leaving Floridas and Californias to go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, because they love Alabama. Please stop it, Nick Sabin. Please
they were getting some money under the table. We know how it goes. Look, Nick Sabin just ain't got caught.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Exactly.
And that is the motto.
Now, on Thursday morning, Hunter issued a response and denial of his own by noting his mother's current living situation on Twitter. He said, I got a mill, but my mom still stays in the 3-bedroom house with 5 kids.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Now, I don't think he got $1 million. But he got some money. Like he got some NIL money.
Well, duh.
But the thing about it is, even with Deion's response and what he said, man, it made it all, come home for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad that now that there's some sort of level playing field, like all of these coaches are just going haywire. Like, I'm still waiting on Dabo to quit. Like, because he told us he was going to quit.
But we've seen Coach K. We've seen Coach K retire. We've seen Roy Williams. They knew what was coming down the pipeline, and sometimes you got to bail out early. You got to jump ship.
Look. You got to. It's an old washed rule that you leave on top. Okay?
Yeah, you got to.
You got to leave on top. Okay, you You don't want to be out here Brett Favre.
Ran.
Now, Deion Sanders had to clear the air in response to Nick Sabin's claim that Jackson State paid a guy $1 million. I don't even make $1 million. Prime tweeted out on Thursday night a spiel about it also.
Yeah, he said, "You best believe I will address the lie Coach Saban told tomorrow. I was awakened by my son that sent me the article stating that we paid Travis Hunter $1 million to play at Jackson State. We as people don't have to pay our people to play with our people." That was solid. That was solid.
Nick Sabin is a Karen. Karen Sabin.
And the only other thing I am the more and more these guys are starting to get paid these NIL deals, the $400,000 to go to the kid that went down to Miami, the Lamborghini deal that the guy and the kid in Texas got. The more and more we start to see this, the more and more these college athletes aren't amateurs anymore, right? They go away. They're getting away from that amateurism. So now it's fair game to where. Yeah, but to now it's fair game. It's like, all right, you're getting $1 million a year. All right, now you're gonna take that heat from the media. Now you're gonna take that heat from fans. Now you're gonna take the heat from just teammates and all that, because you're gonna have to show that you're worth this $1 million a year. And if you're not out there scoring touchdowns or putting the ball through the hoop, some kids mentally coming in college as a freshman, you're not the same as when you are in the NFL for a couple of years and you got that $1 million deal. Your mind just doesn't work like that, and it's gonna take a toll on some of these kids. Now, some, granted, they grew up in hardship, they understand the facts, they understand, all right, I gotta grind, I gotta get it. But some of these kids aren't gonna be able to do it, and that's what I think is gonna hurt sports, where it's gonna hurt the sport, taking the amateurism away from it.
Money ain't never hurt a sport. I think money is going to help the sport, but instead of helping the sport, we need to look at helping the players. Again, you said they're putting their bodies on the line, and we're actually talking about how much they're making. But if a player gets paralyzed or anything, where's Nick Sabin's bleeding heart? It's nowhere to be found.
As a tattoo spot here, called Bleeding Heart too. But no. But in all seriousness, though, like I agree 100%. But when you start looking at the fact of, all right, now this kid is getting paid $500,000, $600,000 to put their name on something and to rep something, now you're gonna have to be held accountable. You're going to have to be held accountable of the money that you're making.
And that should be it would be in the university's best interest to make sure that they have someone, not necessarily a manager, but some sort of advisor, so that way these kids can learn how to handle their money and protect it as well. But these universities aren't going to do that. The universities are going to try to bleed these players for everything. So now when you start seeing fines, instead of the university being fined, they're going to try to fine the player like $50,000.
Yeah, it's going to start running rampant though.
It's going to get crazy, because the NCAA is going to get it back in blood. Pooh Shiesty ain't the only one.
I agree.
Now, for Nick Sabin's sake, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss Michael Vick, 41, coming out of retirement in the fan-controlled football league. And y'all know we will get the Patrick Beverly, Chris Paul slander. Keep it locked in. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City!
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. We also see your comments. Keep them coming. We love it.
D Jackson said he was in the room when it went down. Our guy D. What's up, D? Kiana Singh said pressure for sure. It takes away from the college experience in some ways. Do kids start having legal advice now?
I mean, it's when that type of money is involved, yes.
You have to. Now, Michael Vick, 41, coming out of retirement.
Come on, Mike.
In the fan-controlled football league.
So y'all forgot about that flag football game we went to, and he was all-time quarterback.
Come on, Mike. But that's different. He's playing against some gamers. He's playing against a bunch of gamers out there.
Okay.
I ain't saying I ain't athletic because I play games too.
And that got his competitive juices flowing.
Yeah, it did. But no, the thing too, he sees T.O. out there making a bag, and he's like, oh, all right, yeah. I got to pay some kids' tuitions. Yeah. Let me go get this money real quick.
Especially he probably still works out every morning. Like his body probably still good.
Yeah. I saw Vic when because you guys remember he was on the Chiefs coaching staff for training camp 3 years ago, 2018. And I mean he looked good to me.
Yeah, he looked good to me at that flag football
that too.
Now, Patrick Beverly says Chris Paul deserves Ben Simmons slander after Game 7 loss. Let's hear what Pat Bev had to say.
Ain't nobody worried about Chris Paul when he play Phoenix Suns. Nobody in the NBA.
Well, what did I just say, though?
And I'm just letting you know how NBA players feel and think.
I believe you, but what I'm saying
He's finessed the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end. I mean, this guy is out, man. We gonna be honest. We want to be really honest.
Yes.
He should have fouled out. He should have fouled out. The last game too. You see the replay against Brunson. Hit him on the shoulder. Hit him in the mouth. Ref don't call anything. If that's me, review it. Flagrant one. If that's him, they don't call it. So let's not get it twisted, man. He should have fouled out. He can't guard. He literally can't guard.
He can't guard.
Yeah.
He can't. Chris Paul can't guard anybody? Is that what you say?
Did you see that? No, he can't. Everyone knows that.
Excuse me. No. I don't know that. I haven't heard anybody tell me that.
Because you haven't suited up. You know, guys don't like to tell you all the truth. You know that. Because they scared. They scared what you going to take with it.
No, he's right about that. They will lie.
I don't care.
He's honest. They will lie. That is true. He's not lying about that.
CP can't guard nobody, man. Everybody in the NBA know that. Everybody know that.
He can't guard anybody.
What we call them? Cone. You know what you do with cones? Like when in the summertime, you got a cone. You make a move. What does the cone do?
Stay still.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a cone. Stop playing, man. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows that. It's just y'all don't want to accept it because.
No, I don't accept that. No. I'm saying again, if you're taller than them, you know, you can shoot over him. Obviously, that's an issue.
But give him the Ben Simmons slander. Give him the PG-13 slander. Give him the slander that you give everybody. Come on, Steve.
Come on, Pat Bev.
He thought he ate with that one.
Come on, Pat Bev. First of all, here's the thing about it. It's to the point where he's trying to compare himself to Chris Paul. And there's no comparison. Chris Paul is a bona fide Hall of Famer, second of all.
Right.
And at the age of 37, he's not supposed to be a shutdown defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. That's just not how it's supposed to be made up. And now he's like, oh, well, he's just a cone out there. He's a cone. Come on, you forget the fact that he gave you 30-plus points in an elimination game?
And he got swept. He lost a 3-1 lead. Like this, it's just so preposterous. He was such a bitter Betty on there. But we love the drama.
Yeah,
like you have to love the drama because I wish NFL players were spicy like this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for the game, but man, Chris Paul has been in the league 16 years. 16 years of giving out buckets. And people forget. Y'all remember, I think he was denied being able to go to the Lakers.
Yeah. You still salty about that.
David Stern shut that down. Like, when has that ever happened? They didn't want Chris Paul and Kobe teaming up. They knew what the deal was. So I hate it. First of all, that's very disrespectful for him to even don't even use your name in the same breath as Chris Paul. Like, come on.
I mean, he was also called out by NBA players over the disrespectful comments. Former NBA guard Matt Barnes chimed in on Beverly's comments. Let's hear what he had to say.
Oh.
Chris Paul is obviously going to take a lot of the blame. As Ramona said, and as Chris knows, he didn't play well from games 3 to 7. He played terrible, and he'll tell you that. But what I want to touch on real quick, RJ, is the disrespect I saw from Pat Beverly earlier today. As reporters,
Yeah, Matt Barnes is he's salty as well. He's basically said the same thing I said. This is like, what's the problem? Like, why do you have to bring and people don't understand too. There's a backstory with Chris Paul and Patrick Beverly. I mean, they both were teammates. Patrick Beverly, I think, takes stuff to the heart. He gets released from a team. He's gonna take it to the heart. He's not a dog. Our producer, he's like, oh, he's a dog. No, he's not. No, well, he's aggressive. He's but he doesn't go at James Harden. He doesn't say that about KD, Bron, nobody else but Chris Paul.
Yeah, I mean, we know what it is. He was in his chest, and he had to go on ESPN just to get it off.
Now, Phoenix Mercury's Diana Taurasi is in her chest, too, about WNBA travel conditions, saying we're just women, and blasted the conditions, calling out that their big pockets can change the situation. Let's hear what she had to say.
Players out, staff, trainers, coaches. And, it's the situation that we're in. We find ourselves always in these conditions that are tough. You're in these airports that obviously in the summer are
you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
It's the only thing. Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our
The white sneakers. I'm old enough to know better. Like you get one couple wears out of these and then it's a wrap. Because I don't like my white shoes to be all ugh.
I mean, just don't wear them outside.
Okay.
Wear some flip-flops from the car to the door.
Now the real question is, do you wear the slides or the thong flip-flops?
Just depends on where I am. If I'm at the beach, you got the thongs.
No.
It's the Crocs for me.
When you're grown, you can wear thong sandals when you're grown. Like, no, shoot, get my little pedicure and I'm straight.
I hope so.
Yeah, my feet aren't bad. So I don't know what y'all feet look like, but mine are straight.
It's the Crocs for me.
Yeah, I put them. So you get you some. See, if you go to a let's just say a linen party, a white linen party or something, you put you some on the beach. You're gonna just be walking around with you can't wear your J's all the time, Broderick.
You think you Jay-Z, linen shorts, no socks?
Yeah, you got.
Now, next on the sneakers of the week, we got the Reebok Question Low Blueprint.
These are hard. I'm a fan of monochromatic.
I love these shoes too.
This
Smurf-esque, but
Yeah.
but I'm wearing. I want these. And funny thing, so it was in Houston last week, and went to the Reebok. So I was like, I just want to see what they had. They had all the Reebok pumps that sold out. They had all of the Iversons there. I'm like, yes, heaven.
The Clot Air Jordan 5 Low SP, my personal favorite.
I like these.
I don't think I like them in lows.
I wish they were golf sneakers. These would be so tough and as golf sneakers.
I like them. I think they're a good neutral. I'd rock them.
Gucci. If you wear Gucci, you can wear these
Hey,
with the red and green.
Smooth.
With black.
Facts.
So yeah. Y'all welcome.
And last but not least, the Nike Air Max 1 Light Matter Foot.
I like
or
these.
Root. Sorry.
Pastel brazy.
Yeah. They go with Broderick's fit he got on right now.
Go for it. Now, I gotta love this one. Maria Taylor named as NBC's new host.
to show you that all these
and he's constantly trying to improve.
something could be something even with Notre Dame. Like he needs to have his degree in order to do something at Notre Dame, because a lot of colleges do that.
Yeah.